We're going to graph absolute value equations. So the general form of any absolute value equation is this right here. Y equals a times the absolute value of x minus h plus k. The vertex, okay, the vertex is at h comma k. So when you're given the equation in standard form, you can pick the h off to get the x coordinate of the vertex, and you can pick the k off here to get the k coordinate of the vertex. So let me just do this by example. If I gave you a problem that said y equals, let's say 2 times the absolute value of x minus 3 plus 2. Okay, that's the problem we're going to solve here. We're going to graph that. Graphing it 4 steps. We'll do it in 4 steps. The first step, step 1, okay, is identify the vertex. Okay, to identify the vertex, we see we have the h term right here and the k term right here. So the vertex in our problem is 3 comma 2. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to start the process of graphing it. So we plot the vertex. And there was no math to do there. You can find it right in the equation, 3 comma 2. The second step is we're going to plot a point. And the way we plot a point is we pick x and we solve for y. You pick any x value you want, your favorite number, it doesn't matter, and you plug it back into the original equation. So if I pick an x value, I'm just going to use 1. Okay, I'm going to pick 1. So I'm going to take 1 for x and plug it back into the original equation. So I get y equals 2 times the absolute value of 1, because I just plugged it in, minus 3 plus 2. That's y equals 2, the absolute value of negative 2 plus 2. Now what's the absolute value of negative 2? The absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. And when we do 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6. We get 1 comma 6. So we picked our value of x, we plugged it in, we got y being 6. So we go to 1 comma 6. Okay. Third step is we're going to use symmetry to get another point. Now, the graph of an absolute value function is always a v. It's either going to be a v that looks like this, where it's up, or a v which is down. Up or down. It's up when a is positive, and it's down when a is negative. A is right here. In our problem, we have 2, positive 2, so our v is going up. Okay? So we're using, going to have it here, we're using symmetry for that third point. Let's start my v. Symmetry in the v. So I look here and I see this point. I'm going to do symmetry to this point. This point is 2 over from this symmetry line. So I'm going to go 2 this way. Okay? So the third point you get from symmetry. You've already plotted this one. You find this point on the opposite side of this line of symmetry here, which is right over here. So these points, if I were to fold this paper in half, this would fold on top of this. Okay, your fourth step is to draw the graph, which we've already done. So that's how you do an absolute value graph. Okay, those steps. Do those steps, you'll get it right every time. The one other thing that you need to be able to do is if I give you a vertex, let's say 3 comma 3, and I give you a point, let's say 1 comma 4, I could ask you what's the equation for that for these parameters. In other words, I want you to create the equation in this form, okay, based on the fact that you have this information. This is h. Remember, this is the x-coordinate of the vertex. This is k. Here's a point. There's an x. Here's another part of the point, the y-coordinate. Well, if the standard equation is this, you could see that you have y, you have x, you have k, I'm sorry, h, this is h. You have h, and you have k. All the pieces other than a. And that's what you want. You want to solve for a as your first step on a problem like this. So I give you this vertex and this point, you're going to solve for k. So we'll put 4, that's y, equals a, x, which is 1, minus h, which is 3, plus k, which is 3. We solve for a. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. The absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. 4 equals 2a plus 3. 1 equals 2a, a equals a half. Once you have a solved for, you go back to the original standard form, plug in your a, you plug in your h, you plug in your k. You leave x and y as x and y, and you're done. Those are the two types of problems you need to be able to do for absolute value. Graph, just like this, or find the equation just like this. Good luck.